listening to Joe on the Max Allotment Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are doing a one-off Max Allotment special movie review with my guy Adam, Beer in the Movie. Make sure you go follow him. He'll be tagged in this video somewhere. So as big movie nerds, Prey came out, a prequel to the Predator series, and we had to watch it and we had to talk about it because Predator just has like this big mark in film history for the past 30 plus years, damn near 40, I think.
We have to talk about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things they have to discuss it. Like, it's like, oh shit, a Predator movie came out. There's no way we're ignoring that, so we got to bring it back up. So here we are, and in normal fashion, we're drinking a beer. So what are you drinking there, Adam?
I got the Lieutenant Chomp here from 12 West.
Okay.
Out in Mesa. Nice IPA here. Very
little haze juice. I am drinking this Lucky Dog IPA from Vosburg Brewing out of New York, I think. Yep, New York. My boy Hector hooked me up. So it's Mosaic, Amarillo, Citra hops. Haven't tried it yet. Let me take a quick sip before we get into the movie. Oh, that's good. I fuck with that. That's really good, actually. Wow. Like the more I drink, I'm like, wow, it's getting better.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's really good. All right, so here's where I'm dropping the spoiler. Stop this video. We're 2 minutes into the video. If you proceed at your own risk. We're gonna spoil the fuck out of this movie. We're gonna dive into it. We're gonna talk about connections and all that shit. So stop now. If not, you're fucked.
Stop now, go watch the movie, and then continue.
And then come back. Exactly. There you go. Stop now, go watch the movie, come back, and then we'll talk about it. All right. So Prey. First of all, let's start with the fact that this is a different title altogether. So that kind of like intrigued me. Like, oh, you took the Predator aspect of it and went Prey. All right. Drew my attention. I didn't know why, but what about you? Did that kind of like throw you off, or what did that do for you, the title alone?
No, I think I paid more attention to the poster, right, of it first, and was like seeing like the three dots, the laser, and then seeing this like native, indigenous, like from back in the day character. And I was like, oh, wow. Because I've always wanted them since Predator 2, when I saw the musket.
Yep.
I always thought to myself, like, oh, how cool would that be to have, like back in the, whenever that was, in some other civilization where the Predator is, like, fighting somebody. That's like a true underdog.
No technology,
so
nothing.
No modern weapons, technology. Yeah, like, that would be really cool. I'm sure other people thought that too. I wasn't like, not saying like I was the only one that ever came up with this shit.
So it's your idea, buddy.
Yeah. When I saw that though, I was like, oh, this might actually be really good,
So actually I went too far. Oh, so no, it's fine. So Prey, the title is very different than the other movies. And let's just quickly go back to the other movies. So we had Predator, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the chopper. Right. All-star cast: Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jesse the Body Ventura,
Bill Duke.
What's the other guy's name? The one with the one that played Creed.
Oh yeah.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
But yeah, put me on the spot.
It'll come back to us.
Yeah.
But the point is, that was like the epitome of like male machismo. Like you couldn't stuff any more testosterone in this movie.
You could. It was like coming out of the screen.
But damn, dude.
I just walked into that.
But like the best part is, the person under the Predator costume was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's right.
Yes. So not only was the cast, the visible cast, 100% macho, machismo, testosterone, but the actual Predator himself was an action star at his time. Right. So like the movie itself was, for lack of a better term, like you said, oozing with just fucking testosterone, right? And then so the first Predator movie, tons of great lines. I ain't got no time to bleed. Get to the chopper. Right. Come on, kill me. You know what I mean? You
do it. I'm here. Yeah,
you're one ugly motherfucker. You know. There's so many great lines in that movie alone. Just fun lines. Like, I got no time to bleed is one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't got no time to bleed. It's like, dude.
The puns, the stick around, you know, with the knife.
When they go after the camp. Yes. Yeah. So that, see, like that movie for me, while it was like this macho movie and action and all this like shit, it actually, the story carried really well. Like it was never a slow moment. Yeah. Like the moment they landed, because they were going after the other team, right, to find out what happened to them and everything else. Right. They were like the second squad because the first squad didn't make it, whatever have you. And it was nonstop action from like 3 minutes in, just or intensity, because you're these guys are stuck in the jungle, you know, they don't know what the fuck's out there and they're trying to figure shit out, all that stuff. So here you take a sci-fi movie and you make it super macho, right? We'll just call it that. Yeah. And then you go through the whole movie. Eventually, you know, Schwarzenegger, I forget his name in the movie, kills the Predator, and he lives happily ever after. Allegedly, I guess. I don't know. Fast forward almost what, 6-7 years, give or take. It was a Predator 2. Yeah. It was a big leap. It was a big jump. Mm-hmm. Now you're in this kind of futuristic LA. Yeah. And the Predators out here. Huh? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. LA's gone to shit.
Yeah. It's become Detroit. Chaos. Yeah. I think that's what they were trying to compare it to. Like, it was becoming Detroit. Like, because RoboCop like had a similar feel.
Like RoboCop. Yes. Yeah. Very, very, very RoboCop. Yeah. Civilizations, you know, going to hell. Yeah.
Inner cities are all gone, taken over by gangs. And now the Predator is caught in this middle of all this shit. Right? He's literally like, he's here to hunt, but now he's saying, well, there's this gang and there's this gang and there's this shit or whatever the fuck is going on. So, you know, he starts hunting the gang members. I don't know if he has a certain way of picking them. He just hunting whoever's a potential target. Right. And then after so many encounters or close encounters, he recognizes that Danny Glover is the real Hunt. Even though he might be too old for this shit. You know what I mean? Right? It's like the guy's the same age, but he's old enough to be in Lethal Weapon. Too old to be Lethal Weapon, but not too old to fucking fight Predator.
Right, fight Predator.
So that all happens. A lot of things happen. They chase each other. He eventually hurts him. You know, when the Predator jumps from like building to building. I don't remember that scene. And he ends up in some random bathroom to heal himself and shit. He's like, yo, this is a nice little place. I'm just gonna chill here and fucking.
It looks like a junkie in the bathroom, like.
Yeah, exactly. Like he just found a bathroom that will let a public bathroom that will let him in there, and he's just getting there, like mixing up his chemicals and shit. Right. Oh man, I liked it though. It was pretty dope. It was showing like how he has, you know, he's his own medic and shit like that. Like it's part of their training, you know. And then so what happens? So Danny Glover eventually finds the ship in the subway or whatever it is. And by the way, shout out Ruben Blades. Ruben Blades in the movie. It's my guy. You know, I like him as an actor, as a salsero, everything. Like he's just super fucking talented. One of my favorite people of all time. Anyway, so Danny Glover eventually finds the ship. He goes after him. They have their fight. And then the movie almost ends. Almost ends. You want to drop in what happens after that?
Yeah, because then that's when the others emerge, right?
The
squad, yeah. And it's like they were watching it from the whole time, like just let's see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
And then I love Danny Glover's his response to that.
What did he say? All right, who's next?
Yeah, who's next? He's got like 20 of them or something. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that scene, but yeah, there's a bunch of them. And
Actually, I want to take a step back and backtrack, because that was one of the first movies that I've ever noticed an Easter egg. And at the beginning, when he walks into the ship and there's a trophy case of skulls, one of the skulls is a xenomorph from Aliens.
Oh, shit.
So
I gotta go back and watch that.
Just watch that scene. One of the heads is a xenomorph. And I was like, holy shit, like, you know, and as a kid, I didn't recognize it because, you know, I'm a kid. Like, I'm fucking 12, 11, whatever. I didn't recognize it. Now I'm rewatching it as an adult, you know, 2005-ish, whenever it was. I was like, oh shit, it's a fucking xenomorph. Like, I never realized that. And so, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, but they stand around him, and he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go down. Mm-hmm. But instead, he gets a surprise, and one of the predators walks over, and he's got that antique musket with the 1715 date on there.
Yep.
And he's like, "Is this artifact?" He's looking at it like, "Oh shit! Like, these guys have been around for a while. They've been around for a minute. They've been doing this, wreaking havoc and hunting and whatever they've been doing, you know." So, and then that's the surprise there that at the end that he gets, and then they just carry their dead warrior off, like kind of like a good job, you know.
Yeah,
like
you did. Yep, this is what we're made for. So you did it. All right. So I'm gonna throw a little extra nerdism into this, because after the first two movies, there was a series of comics where it was like RoboCop versus Terminator. It was a few other people versus, right? There was always a versus of some sort. And there was a Predator versus Batman.
What?
If you've never read this comic, do yourself the favor and go fucking read it. Holy shit, it's one of the best, like, one-shot stories ever. And
dude, what a mashup, man!
It's amazing. It's amazing.
We should have had.
It's amazing. Like, why this wasn't a movie, cartoon, something. Like, give me something, right? Like, now they can't because Disney owns fucking the Predator and Alien series. But the point is, like, that comic was such a great fucking comic. Like, there's so many great things in it. I will spoil it. What was that?
The Ninja Turtles. What about the Ninja Turtles?
Oh, no, that never happened. But Batman and the Turtles, I mean, yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
But I will spoil it a little bit. The comic of Batman versus Predator. Eventually, Predator finds the Batcave, because Batman's the ultimate prey, right? Like, he's the ultimate hunt. Yeah. He finds the Batcave, and then who shoots the Predator is fucking Alfred with this giant musket rifle gun shit. Like, it was one of the best panels ever. Like, I loved it. I was like, oh my god, this is so fucking awesome. You know, because it shows how much of a G Alfred is. Like,
I gotta find that.
Oh man, I won't ruin the rest. That's the only part I'll ruin for you. But it's a great comic. It's worth a read.
All right.
So fast forward into what, 2007, 8, 10? I don't know when it was. The fucking the Predators movie. It's like Predators as opposed to Predator.
Was it AVP or Predators?
Oh no, you're right. It was AVP first.
Yeah,
AVP first. Yeah. AVP was first, and that was, I thought that was dope, because it kind of, to me, if you're an Aliens nerd, in my opinion, the kind of transformation of the aliens went too fast. The pace was just too fast. Like, you know, when they went from the fucking face huggers to, you know, the what was that called? The chest burst and all that shit was like almost instant. Okay. Whereas the previous movies, they take like at least like a quarter of the movie to fucking pop out, you know. But either way, the movie was good. What's her name did a pretty good job. Sanaa Lathan wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. It is what it is. But it gave, to your point about the gun, it gave more history that they've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, opened up the universe, expanded the universe a little bit. Yeah.
And then we got a fucking Xenomorph Predator in AVP2, which I was super excited for, because that was the cliffhanger for the first movie. And I was like, yeah, cool, this is going to be dope. And the movie sucked ass.
Yeah.
Like
disappointment, major disappointment to fans, like true
horrible,
fans.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And then after that, we got Predators. And that movie I couldn't get into. That I don't know if I need to rewatch it or whatnot, but I watched it once and I was like,
was it because of Adrian Brody?
It was a little Adrian Brody. It was a little bit. The story just sucked ass. I don't know. Maybe I need to. Like I said, maybe I need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, but whatever. And then we had a break for a while, and then what? Like 4 years ago, we had The Predator.
Yeah, with the giant predator. I didn't watch it. I didn't even bother.
Dude.
Yeah.
The movie was so. I watched it because I'm a whore to the series, and I had to watch it. Right? Like I have to. Like you just gotta watch it. And I watched it, and I'm just like, who? Like, there's too many people in the world, too many trolls, too many fucking, like, whatever, right? Like, you know, internet nerds or whatever you want to call it. Like, who said this movie's great? Put it out. Like, that's what I want to know. Like, that was, and yeah, it was just horrible. And it was like rehashing. You had, what's her name? I forget her name. The chick who played Psylocke in the X-Men movies and whatever. The one that I think she's I don't know her nationality, but she's saying all the lines from the fucking first movie as Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, she's saying, "You're one beautiful motherfucker," and I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like, that didn't even sound natural. Like, it sound forced. Yeah. Like, it is. You could tell. And then, yeah, to your point, it was the giant predator, right? So there was two predators in that movie, but the giant predator was the one that eventually showed up. And I'm like, now you're overdoing it. Stop.
How do you look? You got one of the most just badass, vicious, well thought out premise, like for this creature, this alien. How do you fuck that up? You know, how do you fuck that up? Like my kids think up better storylines when they're pretending and playing, you know. Like,
but it's like, it reminds me of like they're running out of ideas, right? So like in Jurassic World, when they combined the DNA of a raptor and a T-Rex to make this fucking giant T-Rex or raptor, what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, this is all the money in the world, all the production value and all this shit, and this is what you come up with. Like, you could easily do way better than this. Like, come on. But like you said, kids write better shit in their sleep or whatever the fuck it is, and you over here. Anyway, so fast forward now to this month, August 2022. We now get the drop of this straight to streaming movie, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Because this easily could have been a blockbuster film, in my opinion. You dropped it in the movies, right? Like, you could have easily made somewhere between, I'd say, cap out between $600 and $700 million worldwide, something like that.
With the response it's getting, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So this is Disney, so they're not striving for money. But anyway, so this trailer comes out, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Not only is it a different title, but now we're going back in time. You know what I mean? Now he's fighting against the native people, the indigenous people, and everything else. Like, okay, let's see this. You know, I'm interested. All right, so here we are. Prey comes out. What's your 1 through 10? 10 being the best film ever made, 1 being the worst film ever made. Where do you sit? No increments, just whole numbers. Where do you sit with this?
I'm going to say a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I'm going to say 7 out of 10 as well. And I will say that because the movie was great, but the character development was driving me nuts for a while.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And that was the one thing where I'm like, okay, I get it. They don't like her because she's a girl and she needs to be doing girl things and all this other jive. Yeah. Like, we covered that like 1,000 times before, like in the beginning of the movie. Like, why do we have to keep revisiting that? I don't get it.
And they beat it up a little too much. Like, they kept trying it out.
You know? It's like, hey, just a reminder, you know, indigenous women didn't hunt, so she's doing something different. Why is she being different? She should not be doing this. And I'm like, okay, we get it. Like, I know, like, that's how it was, you know, during that time, and thing, you know, get it. Like, she's still the hero. We know for a fact she's still gonna be the hero. Like, that's already established. But carry the movie on. Like, just fucking go. Anyway, so we get the intro. We get this, you know, meet the tribe. I guess you can call it that. We kind of see the rituals and things like that, and I like the detail behind it.
Yeah, they did good with the keeping the authenticity. I think it didn't look too like rushed, because that would have taken away from it. Yeah. You know, what threw me off a little bit with the vibe was was when they were speaking English, because to me they were kind of, this is gonna sound weird, I don't know how to really put this, but like speaking modern English, if you will. Like, they weren't using anything like modern, you know, terms or slang. It was just, to me, it would have been more authentic to have them speaking Comanche all the time, because I'm big on authentic, you know, like movies. If you can just, if everybody's speaking a native language, like if it's in another country or whatever, like you know, like seeing Tom Cruise like speaking regular English in Valkyrie, you know, it's a good movie, but it kind of messes with me a little bit, you know. Well,
they did the thing, and now I was literally gonna say Valkyrie, so right out of my head. They did a thing where he started speaking German, and then they showed the translation piece of it. So it's like, okay, just know he's speaking German for the sake of the fucking movie. He's gonna be English.
And they do have a little bit of, you know, they do speak the native tongue here and there. But then after I watched the movie is when I noticed that they had the Comanche dub, and I was like, damn, I wish I would have watched that first.
Wait, Comanche. Go back.
So if you go on Hulu, they have a Comanche dub where the whole where they dubbed the movie in Comanche. So I was like, I wish I would have watched that one, you know, that version first, because that to me would have made it even better, right? That was better.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's shit. That's awesome. I guess that's their way of paying respect to, like, hey, we're gonna make this movie, obviously make money off of it. But here's how we're going to keep it somewhat authentic to, you know, the indigenous people and everything. I get it. Okay. That's dope. I didn't know that.
Because it's not a modern movie, so, you know, you wouldn't expect them to be speaking, you know, English, and even the trappers, right? They're speaking French. Yeah. You don't know what the hell they're saying. And so, like, to me, it would have been like, it was a weird mix. But I get why they did it. You know, I understand.
No, it was definitely, I thought it was good and authentic. I didn't feel like anybody who's a very proudful native, I don't feel like they felt, what's the word I'm looking for, cheated.
No, not at all.
You know, again, I can't put myself in that shoes, but I can, you know, I can certainly understand. But, you know, and I think that the cast was, you know, native, actual native, like they weren't just pretending. They were, that was who they were.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of peoples that were saying like they were just proud to see, you know, how well the movie was made and the performances and everything with the native actors, and so they did a great job. Yeah.
So let's fast forward, and I totally apologize. So the main characters in the movie, obviously the Predator himself, the one girl, her brother, and then her brother's friends. Does that kind of nail it for the most part? Yeah. And the dog. The dog's a character. Sorry. The dog is my guy. So we know at the beginning, we learn she's a skillful warrior. She's a skillful hunter. She starts showing off her skills with the axe. And then, like, about 10 minutes after you learn how skillful she is with her, you know, in general, she starts doing this whole thing where now she's like, oh no, I got to tie this rope around the axe. Because, you know, why not? Like, that just has to happen. And I'm like, dude, you've been hunting for this long, and now you realize you gotta tie a fucking rope to your axe? Like, come on. Like, it is like, come on, man. Like, there's certain things that are set up in movies where it's like, I get it. For the general audience, you gotta play the role. You gotta do the shit. You know what I mean? You just got to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, do you really have to? Like, because like, you know, the moment she tied the rope around it, I got like this whole scorpion vibe from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
Dude, I swear to God, she's throwing the axe back and forth. She's bringing it back, and I'm just like,
Right.
dude, that is so scorpion right now. Like, I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, whatever. Like, but go ahead. What are your thoughts?
my biggest hang up on the movie, you know, was some of the CGI with the animals.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
The bear.
So
bear was
like
one
the
of them.
CGI I felt like there was two teams, right? One that did a CGI for like the Predator, and then which was great, which was wonderful. It looked really good, and the quality was there. But then the animals and some of the physics, right, would just look really off.
Yeah.
It was still better than the Scorpion King, but you know,
I don't think we can ever go back that far to go back that bad.
it could have certainly used, and I'm sure people will like you'll see like the YouTubers, right, that are going to be like the CGI guys out there, like people redoing those scenes and making them look better and everything. But I just felt like they rushed that. I don't know what was up with the production value there, but that was kind of my biggest complaint about that, about the movie.
Yeah, the bear for me was the most obvious. The bear just had to be like the biggest like red flag. And again, I don't know how many years of internet bashing you have to go through as a movie studio before you realize, hey, we need to make this better. Like, if not, we're gonna get chewed up.
And I don't know if it was because they were like, oh, it's just going to streaming. You know, we'll make the Predator look badass, but
the Predator wasn't CGI that much. Like, he was obviously he was CGI when he's invisible.
True, yeah, but at least it didn't look as nearly like as bad.
Yeah, I do like the fact that they kept it very similar to the previous movies, where it was somebody in a suit.
Yeah,
and you know they could have went full on Yoda, Yoda CGI and shit.
What did you think of the? To me, like this Predator was pretty fucking savage. Like he was pretty ruthless. I mean, Predator's ruthless, but this motherfucker was like he had no fucks, no feelings.
Yeah. I like the fact that there was. So back to the whole indigenous native vibe to it. I like the fact that while he was this towering savage, like scary as fuck, because he was tall, like he was taller and slimmer than most. Yeah. When he was fighting the people, they didn't show fear. I dig that. Like they knew they're gonna die. Like, yo, this guy got me cornered. I'm gonna fucking die. And they went out like true warriors. Like they had that warrior, instinct or whatever you want to call it, and they went out swinging. And I thought that was dope. And the Predator himself, like there were so many features that were so different than the other Predators. I do feel like it was a little bit of an unfair challenge where he's invisible, he can do all this shit, and then they're fighting they're fighting with bows and arrows and fucking axes and shit. Like I'm like, damn, bro, like I mean, I can't negotiate with a Predator, but like if you're trying to find the best kill and you're over here with all this technology, are you really conquering? Are you really tackling the biggest challenge? That's one of the things I liked about the original Predator, because I don't know if you remember the scene where he takes off all his shit to go toe to toe with fucking Schwarzenegger. Yeah. So that was dope. Like that was like, and Schwarzenegger's like, holy shit, this motherfucker's really trying to fight me. Like,
he's like, we're gonna throw some hands.
Yeah, right. Like he took his mask off. He's like, shit like that. So we didn't really see that with this one, and that kind of bothered me because it's like he was so dependent on his technology.
That's true.
One way or the other, he was so lenient on it. He never took the time, and I think with Danny Glover, he did the same thing too in the second Predator. He never took the time to say, you know what, this isn't fair. My technology is more advanced than his. So you know what, let me make this a real fight. And we didn't see that. It was you're right, because like I was trying to think back, and like there was some hand-to-hand combat stuff, but there was he did rely or use a lot of his other like specialized weapons, advanced weapons. Ended up being his downfall. Not sure if that's like a slight to that or whatever. Like, you know, maybe that's why.
I liked how they like, yes, I like how that came around full circle.
Mm-hmm. So
there's my pun. There's my pun for the video.
So let's go back to the connections, right? So long story short, so let's finish up the story. It comes down to, she does the same thing that Arnold Schwarzenegger does. She starts preparing her battlegrounds. She does this, you know, one way or the other. She sets up these booby traps and all this shit. And then she eventually kills him after learning how his weapons work. She uses his own weapon against him. So now we're gonna go to the connections, right? The connection being the first one, like you mentioned, I think it was off camera. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
I literally was saying that in my head. I'm like, the moment they saw the blood, and I mean, I watched Predator so many times, so I know, like, and then and
these are warriors, they know.
Yeah. So like, they literally were like, it bleeds, we can kill it. Like, they did a good job. It wasn't corny. Like, it wasn't cheesy. You know, obviously there wasn't no ugly motherfucker in this, because although that would have been funny. I wish they would have just, if you're gonna be all out corny, just go balls to the wall. Like, go for it. You know, like, you're one ugly motherfucker. Like, and translate that somehow too. And then we get to the final piece of it. So let me tell you, halfway through the movie, before you meet the French colonialists, whatever they are, I literally said out loud to my cousin, I said, yo, what if this is a prequel to the second one where he gets the gun?
Oh, right.
I swear to God, like, before we even met them. Yeah. So this was because there was a good 2/3 of the movie, give or take, where it was all the indigenous native people. That's all it was. And then I said, yo, what if they run into, you know, colonialists or whatever it is, and they got that gun and whatnot. And I was like, dude. And then I saw the one dude who was like the cool guy. It's always been the one,
the nice guy.
Yeah, this is how you load the gun, and this is how you shoot it, and and all those shit. I saw it, and I was like, oh shit, there it fucking goes. Like, I was like super excited, like, you know, I called it. But like, what about connections that I mean, are the same, different ones? What are you?
Yeah, I was trying to remember the year, because when I remember, like, after they saw the movie, I was like, oh wait, yeah, I remember the musket. Yeah. And then I was trying to remember the year that they lined up. If you know, I was just kind of assuming that's where that came from. And then you have to do the references. You have to pay homage to the original, you know. And I appreciated that, you know, because if they didn't do that, then it wasn't Predator, you know.
So like, there was a lot. I mean, this movie was really fun. To summarize the movie from start to finish, the first two, I'd say about 1/3 of the movie roughly was a lot heavy character development. Heavy. Like, it was just like, okay, we get it. We get it. He gets the extra love because he's the oldest boy. I get that. Like, you know, like, they just kind of like, they beat it a little too much, right? But I get where also they're trying to tell a story, and they want to make sure the audience understands what's going on. Then there was a point where, I want to say a little more than halfway through the movie, where the last, you know, again, a little more than halfway, was non-stop action. One after another. Boom,
it was
boom,
great.
One after another.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes. Like it should. Yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I was just saying, like it should be. I mean, it's a Predator movie, you know. So it's and the action was good. I started out, like, with you. I was starting to, you know, I was a little concerned, and I was like, oh, where are they going with this? And is the action going to be lackluster and all that? But it's like once the action started, it like took off.
Yep.
And then the whole movie, I just remember, like, towards the end, at like around the end of like in the middle of all the action, I was like, realized like, oh, I'm having fun watching this. You know, I'm having a lot of fun watching this. And that's Predator movies, you know, especially that old school, like 80s, 90s, you know, style where you it's just fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a good time, you know, and that's how it should have been. This one took itself seriously, obviously, because I think it was necessary with the time period and everything. You didn't have room for all the cheesiness and the puns and crazy, but at the same time, it was fun to watch, and like I was having a good time seeing all the fighting and all of that. So it was good.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I dig it. So now that we've established the gun was handed off, the gun was introduced. Excuse me, the gun was introduced. So the question now is, how does the gun get from her hand to Danny Glover's hand?
Yeah, and I want to watch it again because there's got to be something in there, I think.
Well, I mean, clearly there's going to be sequels.
Or something. Yeah.
I mean, there's no way how you're going to introduce this gun and not give us the backstory as to how it goes from her hands to Danny Glover's hands.
But what I do want to ask is maybe, right? This is where that whole nerddom, you know.
Bring it. Let's do it.
Okay, so the theory, my fan theory, is that they got to go pick him up. No predator gets left behind, right? Unless it blows itself up in a jungle.
Yep.
You know, but that body was there. They're gonna go pick it up, and they'll just, you know, grab a couple of artifacts while they're there. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I'm down. I want to see what happens. I want to. Does it fast forward in time? Does it time jump or whatever it is? Does it happen back to back? Yeah. Is she gonna die because she loses the gun? Yeah. Like, oh, right. You know what I mean? Like, shit. Something has to happen. Like something. There's more. She's put herself now in the middle of the storm, so to speak, and somehow or another, she's either gonna pass the torch type of thing, or she's gonna be our main character for a trilogy. I don't know, like whatever the hell's going on.
So did you watch the credits? Because I need to go back. Maybe it's at the end of the credits or something. I don't think
they did an end credit scene.
No,
I could be wrong, but I don't think they did. I didn't see anybody talk about it. Usually people were like, make sure you watch the credits for
Okay. I see. Yeah.
I didn't see that. So plus I didn't stick around for it. So I was like, all right. If it's not a Marvel, if it's not something comic book related, then I'm not sticking around for the end credits. Like, it's got to be somewhat comic book related. That's one of the time it works for me.
All right. Yeah.
But I like the girl as a character. By the way, her eyes are huge. Can I just put that out there? I was heavily distracted by her eyes. In many scenes.
You know, you brought that up. You bring that up, and I'm like, I remember kind of being like, did they put makeup on her eyes, or does she just naturally look like that? Like, what was the deal with that? Because if they put makeup, I was gonna get upset because I was like, why would they put makeup on her eyes? That messes things up, you know.
No, her eyes are huge. She's got like her eye to like. Again, this is all about praising. This is not making fun of her or anything like that. This is praise.
No, not at all.
I'm like her eyes to face ratio is her eye. They're like. The eyes are huge, but like they're distracting in a very attractive way.
Right.
You know, like I was like, shit, like her eyes are really big and beautiful. Like I just like, wow.
It's like that. Like, you know, certain people have those just certain features that are they're known for, right? You know, and yeah, I totally agree. Like I think that's why in that one poster where you see that close up of her with the pink or the green. You know, like the blood, right?
Yeah.
I think that was so totally deliberate because of her eyes.
Speaking of which, I do like that at the end of the movie, after she kills the predator, she wears his blood, because that's very much a you know, warrior type of mentality. And then they also showed that in the AVP movie when he kills the xenomorph, and then he burns the thing into his head. And he did the same thing to Sanaa Lathan after she killed her first xenomorph.
Okay.
So like that, I like the little nods in that space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I dig that, even though she probably should have. I mean, hopefully she verified that it wasn't acid before doing it. This fucking burns. Oh. But no, like, you know, it's dope. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. I dig it. You know what I mean? So, like, I was.
This movie breathed some fresh air, I think, into the franchise.
Agreed.
Hopefully, we get some more quality follow-ups.
And what's interesting is, I don't know, we haven't spoken about movies in a while, but a lot of these movies that were filmed in the past 2 years, you could tell they were COVID movies. Like the way, you know, like they separated people, there was no longer like many large groups and shit like that. And so this movie being filmed in this era with the way it's set up is like the perfect movie.
Perfect.
And you don't have to get that COVID feel. Like, you know, you don't have to like, oh, this was a movie that usually has like thousands of people in one scene, but you know, for the sake of COVID, now it's only 2 people in a closed room, you know, doing a one-man show type of thing or whatever. But like this worked out really well, and you could tell, like, if they said, yo, we got to make a movie, we have limited resources because of COVID, how do we do this? This movie captured that, and you wouldn't even tell.
I agree. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So hats off. I don't know the director's name. I know he did Cloverfield. The first one, I think it was. Or is the new one, the 10 Cloverfield? Because it's 2 Cloverfields.
Yeah, it was Dan Trachtenberg.
Okay.
I think I said that right.
Shout out to that guy. He has some dope shots in there. The shots of the field were my favorite, where they're running through the field. And
yes, I agree. That was dope. That was cool.
I like that.
The whoever did the location, what do they call that? The site or location. The people that go find the locations for movies. That was they did a good job with that.
Everything was pretty spot on. Like, again, short of the bare CGI, everything was pretty solid. The dog is my guy. Listen, the dog was awesome.
They said that dog didn't have any acting experience.
That dog did his thing. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Listen. So going back to the character development in the beginning of the movie, my dog would have let us die before he helped me hunt. He would have looked at me like, "Bro, you gonna find something for us to eat, or what's good? Like, what's happening here? Oh, you want me to help you? Oh, we need to talk about this. Like, that wasn't part of the plan. You know what I mean?" So, looking at him and looking at my dog and looking at that dog, I'm like, yo, why can't you be more like him, bro? We can go hunting.
That's that dog that's gonna be like, you know, like the dog everybody remembers. Like, there's all those famous dogs in movies, right? You know, from like I Am Legend or what was like some of the other ones, like, you know, just where everybody remembers like that one dog in the movie. That dog's gonna be that dog.
He was a G.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's awesome. Yeah. So 7 out of 10. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it and we missed some shit, comment, you know, tell us what's good. You know, we're all about the nerd shit, so the more nerdy you can drop, the better. But yeah, you know, hopefully we'll run into some more movies that's worth talking about and worth discussing, and we'll do more of these videos.
Certainly.
Adam, thank you for everything.
All right.
Take care, brother. Salud.
All right.
I finished my
Have a good one.
Later,
man. I already finished mine. Oh wait, I got
Oh, you're one of those guys. Take care, man. Have a good night.
All right, brother.
Later.